Now this was the one. This was the big one for me, man. This Tupac rating, man, that was so difficult for me because
Hey, I almost feel like we should do his last.
with Ice Cube's after that. So I mean, both of them were,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So it's him and then Cube. So I just want to speak to this first off because the first part of the rating system is lyrics, and we're probably gonna have a whole segment on this alone. I say Tupac's lyrics are 15. I
He's
say
my guy.
Tupac's lyrics are 15.
He's my guy, but it's a 14, and it's a 14, and that's at the max. It's just not. It's
Explain
literally
explain your 14 and I'll explain my 15 when it comes to Tupac's lyrics.
okay. So we measured the bar as the first three songs on "Follow the Leader" by Rakim, right?
Yes.
If we're using that as the measuring stick, it's actually not even a 14. It's the 13. If we're using that as the barometer. But where he wins, and this is what we're about to get into, well, he does everything else. And I mean everything else exceptionally well at the highest level. And so it makes that lyrical content and the gravity of it greater than what it actually is on a lyrical level. It's everything else. It's just like when you're in a relationship, Mike, you know this because you're in one, you can love somebody, Mike, but if you don't have like trust, respect, communication, understanding, you're going to have a failure in love. And so what he has lyrically that makes him strong isn't actually the lyrics, it's everything around the lyrics. Literally everything. It's the voice, it's the delivery, it's the content, it's the intangibles, it's the hooks, it's the performance, it's the songwriting skills, it's the legacy, it's the records, it's everything else. This is the weakest part of his game, but it's the only weak part of its game, and it's not weak.
All right. I say 15 because I'm looking at the lyrics for what they are, like words on the page, right? This is somebody who whole college courses have been taught about when it pertains to his lyrics, not to his voice, not to his albums even. This man is he writes poetry or wrote poetry. Rest in peace. He has books of poems out there. He's a lyricist to that degree. I've heard him talk about his songwriting perspective and how he puts lyrics together, and he cites people like Marvin Gaye, and I see it because he's able to make people feel things.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the problem that we're having here is kind of back to what Brandon's top five was, right? We're looking at lyrics in that scale based on lyricists like a Nas, Black Thought, Lupe, and people of that ilk, right? Who use incredible, word placement, double
Mm-hmm.
entendres, themes, and just vocabulary that we normally don't get. And with Pac, he's not gonna spit a verse like I was trying to quote last week when I was quoting Elzai's verse, right? You're not gonna
Right.
get one of those things.
See, but this is what.
But the
Okay.
lyrics on the page do things that are more impressive to most than no matter what words you could put together. Black Jesus says Pac was basic. I know. He used basic terminology, but he used them in a way that others just didn't.
Well, this is what I'm trying to say, Mike. Part of why the reason that the words resonate and hit you so hard, and they even, and this is the thing about him, and this is what I'm about to say. He is so special, Mike, that if you heard him say the word once, well, it's in your head him saying it forever. So even these words being recited, like in these discourses of these courses in these colleges,
Mm-hmm.
it's his voice is ringing in your head. The impact of it is ringing in your head. It's still a part of all of it. He's attached to the words forever too. Like even when you read his poetry, Mike, tell me you don't hear his voice.
Yeah, I mean, No, I hear you. And Nas the Goat has a super chat. He says, "So the way y'all are describing Pac, y'all have him better than Nas." Shaking my head. He is so overrated. Um,
First of all,
I
first of
mean, he
all,
scored higher than Nas when I went through it. Now, okay, I
how did
understand where everybody's come up.
Godson get across the belly? How Godson get across the belly, Mike?
Right, right. Listen,
Right.
I understand where everybody's saying him not being a 15 on lyrics if the bar is like you said, follow the leader, Nas, a Black Thought, just lyrically.
Yeah.
Um, I'm with that, but I think that he's such a special case that he can say more in 4 bars than MC could do in a whole 64 bar run. Like
Okay. So
he mastered being able to say more with less more than any hip hop artist we can ever think of.
he's the greatest ever at that. Nobody has ever said more with less than he has. Here's what I'll submit to you. So let's go to some live examples and some footage. Let's go to some real time footage.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to Method Man and Redman's verse on "Got My Mind Made Up."
Right.
But let's go to Pac's verse first, okay? So Pac is on that verse, and this is what I mean about everything. Like what you're talking about.
That's when he was doing that lyrical didexity stuff on that song, by the way.
No, he is. But what I'm telling you is that still doesn't match what Meth and Red did.
No, you're right.
Because what I'm trying to say is that the Tupac that you're talking about on 15, Mike, is when his lyrics are coupled with his voice and the content and subject matter that touches you, that highlights those words.
I got my mind on my money, money on my mind, finger on the trigger, nigga, hand on my nine. That's more flow, delivery, voice.
Right. But what I'm saying is that his subject matter is what you're really talking about when he is hitting you and making you feel. It's not lyrically where he's taking you. It's that the subject matter and the content is so strong. Vocally, he is so great. And he is a brilliant writer. He knows how to connect and land. So he knows what to say to how to get you. But what I'm saying is that when that content and subject matter is not in play on 10, as in on Dear Mama, Keep Your Head Up level, he's not a superior MC. And
I think that's fair.
And that's why I bring Got My Mind Made Up, because that's what I call like regular Pac just rapping. And he's not like all-time great when he does that. 2 years ago, a friend of mine told me Alizé and Cristal blows your mind. Bear witness to the dopest fucking rhyme I wrote. Taking off my coat, clearing my throat. That's not great, Mike. So when his subject matter is not there, he's not lyrically. And so here's where Method Man comes in. Because he's a lyricist of the highest order. Fuck you losers. While you fake jacks, I make maneuvers. You see how the word play and everything is just immediately different and on another level?
Yeah.
Immediately. Yeah. So he's not a 15. And it's because of that right there. When he's on so many tiers level, yeah, he's a 15.
Shout out to Ryan Gillum for the super chat. He says, Pac's voice made you feel those basic words.
Yep. It's the voice and the subject matter. He's a great writer. He's a doper lyricist and he gets credit for, but he's not a 15.
Okay. I think you made a really great case for that. You went 14?
Yeah, I went 14.
All right. Voice 10.
Yep.
Delivery 10. Storytelling 10. Catalog of album, I went 14.
So did I.
Okay.
He got his 2 lowest scores on the 2 toughest criteria, but everything else might.
Collaborations 10. You got 10 there too? Okay. People can't see you, they just see the scoreboard right now.
That's cool.
Okay. I'm just letting them know that you're doing 10 too. Longevity of records 10.
15.
Yeah, longevity of career 10.
10.
Songwriting skills 10.
They're throwing up holograms of this dude still. 10.
Wow. Legacy 10.
Mike, this is no lie. In Legacy, I put 50-11, like 50-11 times. Like been to the club like 50-11 times. That's what I put the Legacy.
Yeah, he has the biggest legacy of everyone.
Yeah, he's our logo.
Yeah, he's the logo for Legacy. Live performance 10.
10. Yes, he's a great live performer.
Content 10.
Yeah. I mean,
Goodness.
I don't even think it's a question about some of this stuff. It's like it's not even questioning. It's not even a question if these things are 10s.
Intangibles 10.
He's he's the only guy in the all-time great rapper conversation that's not an all-time great lyricist. Yes, 10.
All right, we got people in the chat that are questioning collaboration 10.
That's that. Okay, we can question that.
What do you have to say about that
Yeah, but I say,
collaboration?
no. I want the people. I want the people to do it because.
I mean,
Can
what are
I?
some of your favorite pop collaborations? I mean, MC Breed comes to mind off top.
I'm Smile.
What's that?
Smile.
Smile, iconic.
Yeah. Can I interest you in same song from Digital Underground?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
You got
Can
some
I?
more?
Can I interest you in Homies and Thugs?
Okay.
Yeah. Everything that he did when he collaborated was like a home run. If you want to take it down and say that it's not enough, we can take it down to a 9 or 8. Everything he did was pretty stand out when he did do a collaboration. He just didn't do a lot of them.
Okay. I think that'd be fair to kind of take it down because he didn't do a whole bunch.
Okay. I'm cool with that.
8 or 9?
We can go 8.
Okay.
What other questions?
All right, we got Hook Game. I went 9 for the reasons that I said in the previous show.
We can go 9 for Hook Game if y'all want to. I still think that's a 10. No, matter of fact, no. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. No, we're not. He wrote Ambitions as a writer in Hail Mary. He wrote How Do You Want It too. How much more versatility do you want from a hook writer? Ambitions as a writer and How Do You Want It on the same side of one disc. He wrote both of those hooks. Like, what are we talking about? Y'all understand he wrote Hail Mary, right? Me and My Girlfriend, Crazy.
Me and My Girlfriend's a good one.
Yeah. Against All Odds.
Hit 'em up, right?
Hit 'em up. Even though I don't personally like Hit 'em up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
You don't like Hit 'em up?
No, I don't.
I never was a big Hit 'em up fan either. I mean, I don't think it's the diss record that people, crown it to be. I don't dislike the record, I'll put it that way, but I never thought it was like no Vaseline or anything.
Remember when I told you, like, he's our logo because he's our good bag and our ugly? That's the ugly for me.
Yeah.
And I don't want to remember him that way. And neither should other people who really love him or say what they did. That's not how I want to remember him.
Versatility 10.
It's not even a conversation.
Yeah, I think he's one of the most versatile hip hop artists we've ever had.
He actually made the versatility a thing. Like,
he did make the versatility a thing.
Yeah.
Him and Biggie, but a lot of people could say that Biggie kind of adopted that from him.
Yeah.
Pac saying that. Yeah, Pac would say that. Collaborations went down to a 9.
No, I went down to 8 on collab.
8. I'm sorry, not 9. 8. You went 10 on Hook Game.
We can go 9 just because, much like we talked about, I guess he didn't do a lot of hooks early on, but when he did do them, they were 10. So if you want to dock him for not doing it early on, we can do that and make it a 9.
Because I did that for Ice Cube too.
Right, and that's fair.
Yeah. All right, let's get to Cube, man, and then we'll kind of talk about this whole thing, right?
Right.
Cube.
We got light too. We got to do light. Hold on. No, Cube's the last one. Is Cube the last one?
Yeah, for today. I mean, we're like 2.5 hours in already.
Right. Yeah. We done.
Cube lyrics. You know what? Since you've convinced me, I had 15 originally. I can go to 14.
Yep, I have him at a 14 too.
Voice 10.
Yep.
Yay. Delivery 10.
I'm gonna squab with you. I got it at an 8. I don't think
you don't like Cube's delivery. I think Cube's delivery is one of the strongest parts of his game. Like his delivery on Hello.
Okay,
while you
so
sitting
how about
there,
this is what I
your
mean.
bitch is hyperventilating, hoping that we, yeah.
Oh, hold on. So this is what I mean about his delivery. The dude that actually made all the classic stuff, I don't think his delivery is a 10. The guy that was making the solid stuff later on, like on Hello and We Be Clubbing and Pushing Weight, that guy's delivery is a 10.
I got lyrics to put. I don't know, man. I liked all of his. You didn't like his delivery on True to the Game?
What year is that?
That's 92. That's Death Certificate. He's flawless on Death Certificate.
Can we meet me in the middle at 9? Because I just don't. Because how about this? When you're saying his delivery is a 10, you're saying that it's where Method Man and Dig and Pac are.
He stands out. Like even when he got with Lil Jon, and we get on those records, it's like.
But that's the new guy. See, that's the guy who I'm
his
talking about.
His delivery cuts through. Well, you don't think he stood out on Burn Hollywood Burn?
Oh yeah, yeah.
He stands out. Like his shit cuts through.
I'll give you the 10, even though I don't personally totally agree. But I see what you're saying, so I can say 10 on that. I still feel like it's closer to an 8 or a 9, but okay.
Because even Straight Outta Compton, right? Like his and we can attribute Eazy-E's delivery to him too.
I'm gonna give you the 10 for that. There you go. Now you got me. You got me with that. You're right.
Nas the GOAT says DMX should have the same score as Pac. DMX was Pac 2.0. He was more raw, gritty, and real. I don't think that DMX is a great storyteller. Mm-hmm. You know, so I will say this. They do excel in a lot of the same shit. When I'm sitting here looking at the chart, I got the chart up.
Right.
When we talk about lyrics or whatever, boom, voice.
What you're finding out about both of them is that they're as well-rounded as they come.
No, this is true. And honestly, I would say that DMX showed more flashes in his hook game earlier than Pac did, but that's more so dealing with the times. Yeah.
But here's the thing. Go put it. Pac's 5 best hooks against DMX's 5 best hooks. Which is Pac.
I think that they both are really content heavy. But one thing with Pac, what's
DMX's best hook? Does he have a hook better than Ambitions of a Rider or Hail Mary?
I would say Rough Riders Anthem rivals that to a degree.
It's not Hail Mary.
Stop Being Greedy's crazy too. What about Slippin'?
That's not. I won't deny you. I'm a street rider.
I would put Rough Riders Anthem against that.
Got the police fussing at me, but they can't do nothing to achieve. No, I'm sorry, Mike. Because here's the thing about it: that shit is really happening. Right?
No.
Yeah, no. Right.
Okay. Let's see. Cube.
Even the Hail Mary thing, that's a true story about him riding through L.A. with a Black Panther one day. That's a real story. That's real. It's real.
Got to give him that. Okay. So delivery, I went 10. Storytelling, I went 10.
So did I. He's one of our best storytellers.
He is. Catalog of albums, I went 15.
14. We can't do that.
Okay. No. For similar reasons that Common went down.
Yep.
I would go 14. That's fine.
Because that War and Peace wasn't that fire. It had some stuff on there, but it wasn't that fire overall.
It just celebrated the anniversary too.
What you want to know he does deserve credit for, and this is a great album people never talk about anymore. West Side Connection.
I was gonna say Bow Down and Straight Outta Compton factored in me giving him a 15, honestly.
You want to know what? Hold on. What's his whack album? Is it War and Peace? Is that the only whack project, really? Because I don't think it's whack. I just don't, it's obviously.
Yeah, it's not at that level. Yeah.
You want to know what? When I thought about West Side Connection and the NWA stuff, I'm like, you're right on the 15.
Yeah.
Because if War and Peace is the only glitch on your radar, and I'm looking at your other stuff, yeah.
Niggas don't have a Straight Outta Compton.
Or in America's Most.
America's Most, a Kill at Will,
Predator,
a Death Certificate, a Predator. A Bow Down.
Yeah, West Side Connection, Bow Down. Yeah.
West Side Connection's second album was dope too.
It was solid.
Yeah.
The beats on the West Side Connection album, it was just dope. Like, they was in a zone. It was in a nice little zone.
Shout out to AKs and Curtains with the super chat. He says, since we're not gonna get it officially, y'all got to do Scarface versus Ice Cube versus. We could do that mock versus. I'm taking Cube and you can take Face.
Yeah, I already knew you.
I'm a Cube fan.
Right.
Okay, so 15 for albums. I gave him a 9 on collaborations.
Me too.
Longevity of records, I went 10.
Yep.
Longevity of career, I went 10.
Yep.
Songwriting skills. I say 10, man.
Yes, sir.
Shit.
Yes, sir.
Legacy, 10.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Live performance, I went 9.
I went. Hold on. Hold on. Live.
Moderators, we got some more spam in here. We appreciate you for taking that out.
I gave him 8 for live performance.
I guess I remember Up in Smoke, right? And I
Right.
mean, he's still touring very heavily now too, but I remember Up in Smoke, and when he would go out and do Hello, and then Dub C comes out there, C walking. I'm okay with if you want to go 8. Why are you going 8 specifically?
He's never been known notably for his performances.
That's true.
Like nobody's been like, oh, I went to Ice Cube show and.
Especially for the big time records he has.
Right, and he's got a lot of big time records. Right. So.
Content, I went 10.
I went 9 on content, just about the latter stage again.
Really?
Yeah, he dumbed down some of his content on the back end.
I guess that's fair to listen to the whole scope of it all, man. But he, in his prime, in my personal opinion, he was the conscious of NWA.
We can go 10. We can go 10. I'm being nitpicky, maybe. I'm not above it.
Yeah. I mean, and the content of stuff like America's Most.
Because you want to know what? When I think about it, it's like, well, listen what I'm about to say. Him and Scarface and Tupac, very similar rhetoric.
Yep. Set Good Production says everything Pac did, Cube did first.
So just said, Pac, Scarface, and Cube, very similar rhetoric.
I think Cube, and this goes into the intangibles argument, Cube did much better interviews than everybody in his class. He was like a more polished version of Pac. Like Pac kind of reminded me of Kanye in a sense where you got it in the songs, but when you sat down with him, it sounded scattered sometimes. You know what I mean? But Cube was calculated. Like when in his interviews, when he was like in his early 20s, he was hella impressive.
Right. So here's the thing. I think Pac more visionary, Ice Cube more organized about the vision, though.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Definitely. Okay. So intangibles, I get 10.
Yeah, that's
Hook game, I got 7. It's the lowest grade I gave.
The lowest grade I gave was 7 because then I was thinking about like, man, Cube ain't really never did no hooks like that.
And versatility, 9.
I gave him an 8 for versatility.
Really?
Not super versatile, Mike. Not super versatile.
His style didn't change too much.
Yeah, he's not super versatile.
Some of these scores I added everything up, and I know some of these changed, but just based on what I had here, Pac has a 158, Cube 153. Mm-hmm. Prodigy was at a 146, Common was at a 143, and obviously that's going to change, and Kim was at a 142. I'm trying to think, man, like DMX ended up with a 149. Pac by far, based on what I was able to rate him, and like I said, we're going to go back and check all that, 158. The closest to him was Nas with 153. And Nas and Cube ended up with the same score. I don't think Nas would be mad having the same score as Cube. But again, I got to do the songwriting thing.
Yeah, we got to do the songwriting and some stuff. But I mean, the way that it's looking for these first 25, your pace setters appear to be Nas, Jay-Z, DMX, Tupac.
Yeah. KRS-One. The part that I'm upset about is the fact that Rakim ended up getting such, not such a great score, man. Like, and I don't know if it's just based on the categories. I'm trying to find the super chat from Jay Short real quick.
Well, here's the thing: is that yeah, Mike. It's just that there's stuff.
It's just how it falls.
Right. It's just how it falls. It's like okay, so like his songwriting skills would his songwriting skills be a 10? Yeah, probably. But is that going to be enough to like? What did Rakim score?
Oh, let me go back up to. I do want to get this super chat in real quick from Jay Short. For whatever reason, it keeps skipping you, Jay Short. We're gonna get to you. I don't know if it's all this damn spam. You guys, come on, moderators, get on it. Okay, he got Rakim got 143.
We're gonna have to look at that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to look at that.
And is that before? And is that score still there from before we changed the scale on lyrics and albums too? Did you change the point totals when you did that?
I'm gonna go back and check that out just to make sure. Jay Short says them folks thought his content was a 10. Yeah, I mean, man, I don't know, man. Is Pac that much better than everybody else when it comes down to these individual criteria? Do y'all think that we overrated Pac? Because when somebody was talking about how high DMX rating was, it's similar to Pac's makeup. And maybe Pac is just the MC that is totally fit for these categories. If these are all the categories that make up a great MC, maybe Pac is the greatest. Because one thing that won't be argued and can't be argued is how big his legacy is.
Well, here's the thing too, and you have to understand this. And there are legions of people that feel like Nas is the greatest MC of all time, and there are legions of people that feel that way about Big. Well, this is the guy that they were most inspired by, and it shows in so many ways. So it's like I have no problem with him being number one on this list, and people that do need to keep that in mind. Big's formula for making records, oh, that's Pac. Nas's favorite MC, Pac.
Okay. I think all of those are it's valid, man. And I think when we go by all of these categories, yeah, Donnell Lee says Pac is rated fairly. Yeah, I mean, when I was going through it, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
It was like,
what you gonna do?
I mean, the only thing, again, if somebody want to talk about longevity of career, we could say, yeah, his career was 1990 to 96. But when I was talking to my guy, Brandon, I was like, I gave him I think initially I gave him like an 8 or something on that because of how short his career was. But he was like, I mean, this man's legacy in name lives on. You got Jussie Smollett out here in 2022 calling himself the gay Tupac. I mean, you got how many songs do we have where they say Tupac's back? It's like he never died. Not to mention that we always hear new music. Shit. So longevity of career, if that's an argument where you want to give him lower than a 10, I get it, but I don't think anybody's career has lasted longer than this because his career seems to outlast people who are living, which is wild.
I mean, even if you were to dock him points for that, Mike, he's still 5 points up on Nas and X.
Yeah, we're going to go back and look at all of this, we promise, and revisit everything on Friday when we go rate the other 5 MCs that we were going to rate today. We just had like such a heavy show. We just couldn't do it. Friday, we got some new music. You excited about the new Mulatto album?
Yeah, I want to hear what you're working with. I want to hear what you're doing.
I'm excited about that and the I Know Nico album. And see, we thought that, well, I thought initially it was a Pusha T album, and I guess we're not going to get that this week, but we're going to get that pretty soon. But here are some of the songs that's on it, right? We got Lost and Found Freestyle with A$AP Rocky and Tyler, the Creator. That's from like 2019. That shit was dope, actually. You remember that?
I do.
Yeah, so that's on there. Hear Me Clearly from Pusha T's on there. That's hard. And so we got an A$AP Rocky song that's on there. We got a Clip song called Punch Bowl.
Oh.
We got a Functional Addict, which is Pharrell and Gunna. That should be interesting. Got a Kid Cudi song called I Want It Bad. More Tonight with the Teriyaki Boys. Paper Planes with Pharrell and A$AP Ferg. Obviously, Hear Me Clearly, Pusha T. Remember, that's Pop Smoke. Heavy, that's Lil Uzi Vert. And Come On, Let's Go, that's Tyler, the Creator. So that should be an interesting project.
No, Mike.
Yeah.
I'm doing the tallies. Pac got a 155.
Okay, cool. Because some of my points were off. So
I was thinking about that too. I'm like, he's 5 points ahead of Nas, though. I'm like, hold on, let me tally.
Okay.
Right. So he's 155. So that would literally put him 2 points ahead of Nas.
Miss LB says one of Pac's boys said in the interview that Nas was his favorite rapper, Pac's favorite rapper. I can
Yeah, he
see
used to
that,
go.
and vice
No, they
versa.
don't listen to each other. I can hear that. Like, I can remember they was telling a story about how when Pac had heard Street Dreams, and that like inspired him when he was making All Eyes on Me, because they both had that same track around the same time, and he was listening to how nigga Nas was spitting. He's like, and that's the thing with Pac. Pac knew he couldn't beat Nas at spitting, so he's like, I got to make something hard.
I think they're both poets, so I mean, I could see how they would both kind of gravitate to each other's style.
Mm-hmm.
And there were things that Pac could do with his voice that Nas couldn't do with his voice that I'm sure he appreciated as well.
Right. And there are some things lyrically that Nas could do that Pac couldn't do that I'm sure he appreciated.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
Like when he's like rapping on that beat, he's talking about, 2 sips from being alcoholic, 999,000 from being rich, but now I'm all for it. Like Pac can't do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Nas is amazing, man.
Yeah.
Amazing. Greatest rapper of all time.
Greatest rapper of all time. But according to these scales, it's Tupac.
According to the scales, it's Tupac. But what Nas is doing right now is phenomenal. But, all right, Mulatto's dropping Friday as well. 777 is going to be the album's features are going to be 21 Savage. She has a song called Sunshine with Lil Wayne and Childish Gambino. That should be interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting.
She got a record with Lil Durk. Also Nardo Wick, Kodak Black, and 13 tracks on here, man. I think that it's interesting. Maybe we talked about this on a show a long time ago. I think I asked you, kind of a trick question. I'm like, who's the greatest female MC to ever come out of Atlanta? And I hate to marginalize any, group, but it just kind of shows you not a lot of female MCs came out of Atlanta. Can't really name too many, and Mulatto is it.
I told you Left Eye, and you were like, she's not from here.
No, Left Eye from Philly. We're not gonna take that away from Philly. Philly birthed some dope female MCs, and so does Jersey.
I told you, as far as lyricists go, you're gonna be hard pressed to beat Philly outside of New York.
I think Jersey got the best female MCs. Latifah, Lauren, Rod Digger. Game over.
Good night. Don't they got Jean Grey too? Ain't Jean Grey from Jersey too?
I thought she was from South Africa, but if she's repping Jersey too, it's really game over.
It is.
Yeah, because Philly got Eve, Left Eye, Charlie Baltimore, Miss Jade's from Philly, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Miss Jade's Philly. I rock with Miss Jade.
You're right. She from Cape Town.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, man. But yeah, Jersey got that, man. Queen Latifah, Lauryn Hill, and Rod Digger.
Yeah. When you said Lauren Latifah, Rod Digger, that was over.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Mulatto is the female MC that comes out of Atlanta. I never really noticed, and maybe that's just me being blindsided by, whatever is going on in hip hop in Atlanta. But outside of Rashida, I'm trying to think of the female MC to ever break out of Atlanta like that, and we just haven't had it.
Right, and here's the thing, even with that.
Charles Carter mentioned Rashida. Yes, Rashida, but, Rashida was on a high trajectory for a second, but, reality television is kind of what she's known for mostly at this point. What were you saying, Coop? My bad.
No, don't worry about it.
Bahamadia is in Philly, too. I apologize. I cannot forget Bahamadia. I love her.
Yeah. I don't know. That Philly line is pretty tough.
Okay, so what's your Philly lineup? We got Eve, Bahamadia, Miss Jade, Charlie Baltimore, Left Eye. Damn, they're deep.
They're deep.
That's the thing. Yeah, I mean, because Jersey.
They don't have Lauren or Latifah, though, so it's a problem.
I think the Eve is probably Eve and Bahamadia. Black Jesus says Brooklyn. We got Kim, Foxy, and Light. Okay, I like that lineup too.
Who's taking on Lauren? Who's taking on Lauren?
MC Light.
Know how I feel about Light.
And then I put Kim on Latifah. And then you got Foxy on Digger. I think Brooklyn might win that.
Actually, that's nice. That's nice. I would put Foxy on Lauren. Put the most vicious person on.
Okay, even if we cancel those things out,
The Foxy one.
you
Like,
still got
no,
MC Light on Latifah.
now I'll take that. See, I'll take that and
And then you
Kim
got Kim
on
on
Digger. Yeah.
Digger. That's not fair to Digger.
Okay, Brooklyn got some run. Brooklyn got some
Yeah,
run. Some,
Brooklyn got some run. I think
Brooklyn
that's a
got
really
some
good
run.
debate. You know,
No,
honestly, I'm gonna
3 on 3.
keep it. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I think Latifah right now is a better rapper than MC Light.
Probably is. Call Ice Cube. Tell him we got a 3 on 3 for him. Jersey BK. Jersey BK 3 on 3.
Yeah, Jersey BK. I think that'll be a great little versus or however y'all want to do it. But we
Yeah.
can't have Kim and Foxy in the same room, unfortunately. I guess. Whatever. That's problematic.
That's very problematic.
All right, and on that note, man, we're gonna get up out of here, man. We're gonna holler at y'all on Friday. We're gonna go ahead and finish these charts, talk some music. Man, are you excited about any of the new music coming out Friday? How much time you think we're gonna spend on that?
I
Damn.
think, when there's not a big artist that's anticipated to be released, I think the amount of time that we spend reflecting on the music has to do with how quality the music is or is not going to be. So
We might get some surprises. I'm interested in seeing.
I mean, this podcast kind of started and took wings on not us, on the greatness of the albums that we covered. We started to take off because of Jay Electronica's A Written Testimony
Mm-hmm.
and Freddie Gibbs' Alfredo, West Side Gun, Pray for Pears, so it was the quality.
And even as recent as Magic by Nas. I mean, that was a big one for us too, because that, you guys were hitting us up for days and days on end, wondering when we were going to react to Magic.
Right.
And on today's show, Coop said that Magic is a classic, so it's official.
I mean, and here's the thing about it. I mean, Mike, I remember when I rated Pray for Paris, and you were like, what would you get it out of 5? I said, me? I said, I'm giving that a 5.
Yeah.
I did that the day after I heard Pray for Paris.
Pray for Paris is still a 5.
Easy.
And Magic is still a 5. Remind me, what is currently album of the year? You still got Benny?
Yeah, it's Benny, but I would probably go down to a 4.6 instead of my 4.7. Conway's still at 4.5. Currency not too far behind that. All things considered, those 3 right there are what come to mind. Gunna's album is still really, really dope too. It's been a good year so far.
I'm going to be honest, man. I'm slightly disappointed that we're not getting Pusha T on Friday. I was looking forward to this. I was looking forward to actually reacting to this album that Pusha T has in the chamber that he's saying is album of the year.
No, it's been 3 years. He's a legend. He's exciting. So you have the right to be disappointed. But it's like we've already waited this long. There are other MCs, Mike.
There are other MCs. And, we've learned that waiting for Kendrick Lamar. I think people have to understand, even we just celebrated 2 years of doing this podcast. And ever since we started this podcast, we were waiting for the day that we could respond or react to a new Kendrick album. And we're still waiting. I don't think it's going to happen. So, like you said, I've learned to realize there are other MCs in the game. There's other music to be released and other things to talk about. And on that note,
I'm just looking at my watch. Time keeps on ticking, and it doesn't stop for any man. You know that, right? Keep on ticking. It's funny. The watch keep on ticking. It keep on turning.
I was going to ask for a Kendrick prediction, but there is no reason. We're not even... It's no point.
Okay, so remember I was being kind of shady with Jay Electronica in 2020 when you were like, so what do you think about that? And a few months later, Coop, I was like, I think about as much of it as he does, And so it's like people that think that I guess we're hating on Kendrick or slandering Kendrick. How about we just be quiet and invest as much energy into his career as he is?
Listen, I mean, I'm just going to keep it real. I'll be excited to hear about a Kendrick release, but I just don't see it coming, so...
I mean, Mike, you called this because here's the thing. I'm in a place where it's literally, was I not defending him this time last year when you were saying nothing was coming?
You were.
This time last year.
But now people think you're the one being hard on
right,
Kendrick.
They don't understand. A year ago this time, I was looking at you. It's nah, he's not going to go a whole nother year without doing anything, Mike. You were like, I think so. You're like, I think this guy hasn't made any good material. He doesn't have anything to release. And it's starting to be a problem because he's not making dope material and it's not going to fit his standard of what we're used to from him. And you're looking right. And quite frankly, you looking right and me looking wrong pisses me off. Me to make that out.
You know what we're about to see when KD3 drops? Because here's my prediction, and this ain't even a tough prediction. This is easy. KD3 is gonna drop before a Kendrick album drops.
It is, because you want to know what?
And
When Hit Boy did the retweet, I was thinking to myself, I bet they're sitting in the studio right now.
and if that is the case, we got Lost Tapes 2.
Like,
We got Lost Tapes 2. We got Nasir. And we got KD 1, 2, 3, and Magic. We got 6 Nas albums since we've gotten Kendrick's last album.
From a guy whose work ethic was questioned. Right.
Yo, and how many albums does Kendrick have? Does he even have 6? This would be his 6th, right?
Right.
And so since we've gotten the last Kendrick album, if they drop KD3, we've gotten 6 Nas albums since the last Kendrick Lamar album. Think about that, people.
I'm at a loss, Mike. I'm at a loss.
Like, and this is, like you said, somebody in the twilights of his career.
Supposedly, Mike. He just